What up, what up, what up? Let's get a things that people is not. I don't know if they just don't know or they ain't thinking about. The boy was still convicted, bro. He was still convicted. Yes, he got the main cases got dropped, right? The main charges got dropped. But we got to remember, he's still waiting to get sentenced. 2 to 10 on each count, right? He still was found guilty, guys. Y'all got to remember that. Everybody talking about he beat the feds. He just beat a couple of cases. Beating the case is beating everything, bro. That's what beating the case is. When you beat a case, everything get acquitted, not just the main charges, right? He still got serious charges that's against him. He's still facing up to 20, as if they don't run it concurrent. Y'all do know that, right? But now, yeah, of course, y'all gonna run whatever they saying on the internet. Y'all ain't gonna really pay attention to the detail. That's why I'm here. He's still facing up to 20, bro. He's still facing up to 20. What people don't realize is Diddy is 55 years old. He's 55. He's older than me. So a 20-year sentence, a 10-year sentence for somebody that's 55, bro, that's damn near a life sentence. Y'all got to understand, bro. The dude's still guilty, man. He's still a convicted felon. He still got convicted. Know what I'm saying? Everybody's acting like they celebrating, like he got off. If he got off, guess what? He'd have walked out that door right now. But he got convicted of 3 charges, bro. 2 that carried 2 to 10, fed time. Y'all do know that, right? He got convicted of prostitution, flying people out, right? From state to state. That's a fed case, bro. He's guilty of prostitution. You know what I'm saying? He's guilty of that. That's 2 to 10. They could come back. That judge could come back and give him 20. Y'all do know that, right? It's up to the judge on what they gonna give him. They can give him 20 or they can give him probation. Everybody's talking about he's walking out of jail today. It's a possibility that he could get to 20. Y'all do realize that, right? He didn't beat all the charges. He didn't get acquitted of all charges, bro. Y'all got to realize that. He still got convicted of 2 serious charges. 2 to 10 on each count. That judge could come back and give him 20. He could give him the max on each charge and not run them concurrent. Now, do I think he gonna do that? I don't think he gonna do that. But y'all gotta stop. Just because somebody get out of jail, bro, that don't mean that they beat the charge. That don't mean that he didn't beat the charge. Dropping the case mean he got beat. All cases are dropped. He still got convicted of, if I'm not mistaken, 3 charges. Well, 1 charge ain't really, he probably could get time served for the 1. But the other 2 is 2 to 10 bedtime. The other 2 is 2 to 10, bro. He can get anything from probation, like what Young Thug got, right? He can get anything from probation to a max of the 20. So at the end of the day, he's still guilty. Y'all don't listen to the narrative that they talking about on this internet. You know what I'm saying? If let's say if that a judge come back and give him the max 20. For somebody that's 55 years old, that's still damn near a life sentence, guys. That's still damn near a life sentence. He's 55 years old or 56, something like that. He's almost 60. A 20-year sentence to a 56-year-old, that's just like a life sentence, bro. That's just like a life sentence. And yes, if you are paying females to come, if you in Dallas, if you're in Florida, and you pay somebody from Texas to come to Florida, guess what? And them feds find out about it. Guess what? That's a fed case, bro. That is prostitution across state line. That is a hefty charge. He's still convicted of that. That's what most people got to realize that. You know what I'm saying? If he gets out of jail today, it's either going to be two things. Probation, you know what I'm saying? Because the minimum of the charge carries two. And we got to remember, that's a Fed case. So he got to do at least another year and then get out on Fed probation. Y'all do know that, realize that, right? It's what this judge gonna do. You know what I'm saying? If it's what the judge gonna do after, whenever they come back, it might be today, it might be tomorrow, but it's whatever the judge say. The judge can give him 20. I'm gonna keep saying it. The judge can give him 20. Why can they give him 20, Stock Sniper? Because the underlying charge of the prostitution from state line, or whatever the charge is, it carries 2 to 10 on each count, and he has 2 counts. So if the judge give him max for each one, that's 20, which I don't think they're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I think they would run it concurrent. But what you got to understand about these judges, bro, what you got to understand, some of them can be assholes, bro. Just think if that judge don't like Diddy and give him the max. That 20 years, bro, that's a life sentence to somebody that's 55, 56 years old. I just want y'all to understand that. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to understand how it works. Don't think because they saying across the screen, not guilty this, not guilty that. Yes, the ones that he could have got the most time for got dropped. You know what I'm saying? But the still carry a 2 to 10. That's just like, I'm gonna give a good example. That's just like you do a robbery, right? And they charge you with aggravated robbery, and then somebody dies during the robbery, but you ain't the one that pulled the trigger. So they charge you with murder, right? And then aggravated robbery, right? Well, you take it to trial, and the murder gets dropped, but you still get found guilty for the aggravated robbery. Guess what? That don't mean that you beat the case. That just means you beat one case. You know what I'm saying? You got found not guilty for one case. The jury don't think that you killed the person, but the jury do believe that you robbed them. So you still get time for the aggravated robbery. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works, guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see people here trying to, how can I put it? Or celebrating. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating like he got found not guilty of all counts. That's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works. And another thing I gotta keep reminding y'all, the dude is 55, 56 years old. If that judge comes back and give him 20, that's just like a life sentence. He'll be 75 years old when he get out. Y'all do know Fed is day for day, right? Y'all do know a Fed case, a Fed charge is day for day. So if they come back and give him 5, right? They say we're gonna run it concurrent. The 2 cases concurrent. We're gonna give you 5 for each one and run it together. That's 5 years. He still got to do another 4 flat. Y'all do know that, right? He still gonna have to do another 4 years. He's still convicted. He ain't beat no. A lot of people talking about he beat the feds. He ain't beat them, bro. If he beat them, that means all charges everything would have came back not guilty. That's beating the case. That's beating. Now, of course, of course, some of them got beat. But guess what? At the end of the day, he's still a convicted felon. He's still convicted of prostitution. So in other words, when he get out of jail, 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, he gonna have to register. He gonna be on the internet. You know what I'm saying? 8 times out of 10. I might be a little off about that, but I do know this. He is still looking at 2 to 10 on each case. So don't jump the gun yet, guys. Don't jump the gun yet. Right? He's still convicted. Even if he get out today and they give him probation, which can happen, he can get out today. If the judge come back and say, we're going to give him probation, we're going to give you 20 years probation like they did Young Thug, guess what? He going to have to, all the DIDDY parties, which y'all think he going to have, he ain't going to be able to do that shit, guys. Y'all gotta, some of y'all need to understand how the system works for real. If Diddy get out of jail today, he gonna be on probation. He gonna be on probation. Y'all gotta understand that. Right. Network TV, that's true. People don't understand how the law goes, bro. Everybody think that he automatically beat the case. No, I'm gonna explain it again in simple terms. Let's say I commit a robbery, right? And somebody get killed in the robbery. I didn't kill the person. They charged me with murder and aggravated robbery. I'd say I didn't murder nobody. I'm gonna take it to trial. Basically, that's what Diddy did. He did not accept the plea deal, and he took it to trial. Well, I take it to trial, right? Knowing that murder carries life and aggravated robbery carries about 35. Okay, I take it to trial. I beat, the jury finds me not guilty of the murder, but they find me guilty of the aggravated robbery. Guess what? The only way I'll be able to go home is if that judge or the jury give me probation, but I am still a convicted felon. And guess what? My probation is gonna be strict when they let you out. If he gets probation, which I would be surprised. If Diddy gets probation, I would be super surprised. I don't think he's gonna get no probation. And to be honest with you, I also wouldn't be surprised if they stacked the 10 and 10 and gave him the 20. I wouldn't be surprised about that either. So you see the family all happy and all this kind of stuff, right? But guess what? That judge or whoever gonna give him the time during sentencing, they could give him the 20. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no time for celebration. It's not, bro. Why it's not a time for celebration? Because he still got found guilty of those I think 3 charges, but I know for sure 2 of flying females and dudes out, paying, being a trick, in other words. But y'all gotta stop flying these people out, bro. See, they trying to overlook that. The main thing is that he was paying prostitution, like what a lot of people do. They fly females in and pay them. They fly in these Instagram models and then they pay them prostitution. In other words, they buying sex. Guess what? They're not really talking about that. Y'all better stop flying them females out, bro. If you flying them girls out, you better stop it, bro. See, they're not talking about that part. They're not talking about the actual convictions, which we know that a lot of people in our community, guess what they're doing? Because that's the thing to do. They think they flying these females out. These Instagram models and things like that, they flying them out, paying them, you know what I'm saying, and doing what they do, right? They think that for some reason, they think that's legal. That's not legal, guys. If you fly a girl out from Atlanta to Florida and she tell on you, guess what? You going to jail. That is prostitution across state line. That is a serious charge, guys. So I don't understand why everybody is celebrating. But people are throwing up under the rug how serious those 2 charges are. They carry 2 to 10 each one, and guess what? There's no those are day for day in the feds. So we gotta wait to see what is the actual sentence. And I'm gonna tell you what people gonna do. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If that judge come back and give Diddy probation, watch how everybody be so excited that he's out of jail, but nobody's gonna talk about that he's still convicted. Nobody's gonna talk about that he's on probation. Nobody's gonna talk about the stipulations of the probation. Y'all see how they did Young Thug, right? They told Young Thug he can't come back to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They told him he can't come back to Atlanta. But everybody celebrated like he beat all the cases and got out. You just out of jail for right now. Because guess what? They know 9 times out of 10, most people that violate probation, they go back to jail. See, that's what they tell you. When they give you probation, a lot of y'all don't know this. But when they give you probation and they let you out, guess what they say? Oh, you'll be back. Oh, he'll be back. They're betting on that you come back. And one thing about getting out of jail on probation, 7 out of 10 of people violate the probation. They violate the probation. I guarantee you this. If they give Diddy probation, one of his stipulations is going to be he can't be around no sex type things like that, like buying sex. It's going to be heavily, he might be on a monitor on his leg. They going to make that probation so stiff, hoping that they find out he buying pussy again. Let's just call it what it is. They going to be hoping that he buying pussy again. That's exactly what it is, guys. I'm not going to beat around the bush. That's exactly what he was doing. He was flying them females in, and allegedly dudes too, right? And paying for sex. He was tricking. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was doing. He was tricking. But guess what? Nobody's really talking about it. And that right there what blew my mind. I told you Diddy was gonna get out. I told you this. I told you that. Bro, he still gotta be sentenced. Right? He still gotta be sentenced. He still got convicted. See, I understand. A lot of people don't understand how the rules work, bro. A lot of these people on the internet ain't never been in those situations. A lot of people on this internet don't know nobody who been in these situations. You know what I'm saying? I'ma say it again. Diddy is still facing a max of 20 years. And if you're 55 years old and that judge give him 20, what y'all not thinking about? He's 55 years old. He still can get 20. I'ma explain it again. 2 to 10. 2 to 10. Stacked. The judge can say, I'm gonna give you 10, the max 10 on each charge. That's 20. That right there is a life sentence for Diddy. Y'all do know that, right? He's 55 years old. 55. If they give him 10, that is basically a life sentence. Now do I think they're gonna give him the max? I don't believe that. But I also don't believe they're gonna give him probation. I'd be shocked. No, I won't be shocked. Because I know that probation that they're gonna give him probation, right? But then they're gonna still give him the 20 years. You know how? They're gonna do him just like they did in the hotel. We gotta wait. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I don't know what happened, but they stopped my live, guys. I don't know, they've been tripping with my live lately. But I see it's still people in here, so I'm just gonna let everybody know, if you don't listen to the OG, Diddy still has to wait until that judge or who is handing the sentence gonna have to wait. Now, I'm in the courtroom, so I don't know the feel of the judge. See, if the judge is the one that's gonna give him the time, then somebody who's been in that courtroom can get a feel if the judge likes Diddy or if he don't. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. What type of judge that he got. But I'm thinking that it's gonna be the judge who's gonna give him the time. So we got to see what type of judge that you got. Only Diddy knows what kind of judge that he got. Well, Diddy and the lawyers. They the only ones that really know. Now, if he's a judge that's really, really heavy on how men treat women, he gonna probably get the max. I'm telling y'all, that's how it works. It depends on the judge, guys. You know what I'm saying? What type of judge he got. If the judge is more lenient, more liking to Diddy, he's subject to get probation. But that probation is gonna be ugly. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna be a stiff probation. So don't get too excited about a conviction being let out of jail, bro. Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. I'm at a bad spot. I think so too. I'm gonna have to change my spots over here because, where I be at over here, my reception get bad. But don't be too excited, guys. Whenever they come back and get the sentencing, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll be able to see what's really going on, right? But one thing I gotta realize, even though he got found not guilty for the main cases, you gotta understand, Diddy is 55, 56 years old, right? If that judge give him 20, that's like a life sentence. He'll have to do 20 years flat. Yeah, just understand that. He had to do 20 years flat. If the judge give him 10, he got to do 10 years flat. I hope y'all understand that. So it ain't like Diddy 25 or 30 years old. He's almost 60. So we gotta look at it like that, right? A lot of times when you're in court and you go into trial, they look at your age. You know what I'm saying? His age play a part. You know what I'm saying? 60 years old, he almost 60. You know what I'm saying? What reason to give him a life sentence and he's already 60? Those two cases right alone can give him a life sentence if he, you know what I'm saying? But if he lived to be 80, he'll get out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's day for day. So we gotta be mindful of that, bro. We can't be celebrating convicted felons, guys. We can't be celebrating convicted felons. Now, I think this more happened more than anything. I think Trump, which is a whole nother conversation, I think Trump would pardon Diddy. I think they know that already. You know what I'm saying? Trump, I think, will pardon Diddy. Because like I said before, Trump and Diddy, a lot of y'all might not know, Trump and Diddy was the best of friends in the 90s. I done said this many a days. Donald Trump was a lot of these rappers' mentors back in the days. You know how these days you pay for consultation? Like if you like somebody on YouTube and you like what they doing and they charge a consultation fee and you pay the consultation fee and they give you the information that you need, that's what Diddy and all these rappers that y'all like was doing with Donald Trump back in the 90s. They was paying Donald Trump a consultation fee to teach him about investing, to teach him about real estate, to teach him about how to market, right? That's what was going on back in the days. So Donald Trump and Diddy has a great relationship. Donald Trump and Diddy has a great relationship. Well, you might say, Stock Sniper, why did Diddy was trying to tell us to vote or die and all this, that, and the third during the first presidency of Donald Trump? I'm gonna tell you why. Because at that point, those rappers that are trying to tell you who to vote for, they're trying to cross into politics. And then guess what? They're paying them money to do that. You know what I'm saying? Evidently, Donald Trump didn't want to pay Diddy and the rappers back then to tell us who to vote for, right? But certain people in that party paid Diddy and these other rappers, Cardi B and all the rest of them, they paid them to tell us, vote or die, vote for so-and-so, vote for this, vote for that. That's what was going on. And Donald Trump talked about that a little bit. He said that me and Diddy was good friends before politics, right? So that let you know right there, it wasn't personal. That's what y'all gotta understand. When these celebrities start downing certain people, 9 times out of 10, especially a rapper, bro, whenever a rapper start downing and trying to tell you who to vote for, best believe they got a check for saying that. Like a concert. Like how the rappers won't do a concert unless they're paid by the promoter. Well, that's what it is. Same thing. They was paying the rappers, Diddy, and all these guys was telling us vote or die. They were paying the rappers money to say that. They was paying them. I'm gonna tell you why. Guess what's gonna happen? Diddy team is gonna reach out to Donald Trump, bro, because it's not personal, it's business. They understand you got to get the bag. I'm not gonna pay you to promote me, but if somebody else want to pay you to promote them, it's about money. It's about politics, and money is the same thing, guys. It's all the same. It's all about money. You know what I'm saying? If you are influenced by a big time rapper, these days this is what they understand, bro. They understand that 8 times out of 10, if you are on that rapper's Facebook page, or on that rapper's Instagram, or on that rapper's YouTube, guess what they know? And you got access to the rapper, like I'm talking right now. You got access to your favorite rapper. Guess what they know? They know that 8 times out of 10, that rapper could tell you to do just about anything, especially when it comes to voting, and you'll believe it. If a rapper sit here and say, now Diddy them, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this right now. Diddy them in the 90s used to pay Donald Trump. Donald Trump was their mentor. Everybody knows that. That's older, right? You see, y'all younger people already see the pictures. Donald Trump was their mentor. They used Donald Trump blueprint to get to where they at right now. So I'm gonna tell y'all this. Don't you know that Donald Trump and P. Diddy are the best of friends, guys? I hope y'all understand that. Donald Trump and P. Diddy are the best of friends. Exactly, they are the best of friends. They've been friends since the 80s. You know, and seeing what these guys know is that because of the younger crowd really don't know that much, and another thing, the younger crowd don't listen to the OGs unless they're a rapper. Now they'll listen to a Diddy, they'll listen to a Jay-Z, they'll listen to a Cardi B, they'll listen to all these this and that. So another thing, back to what I was gonna say, and I gotta go after this. If Donald Trump was so prejudiced, guys, listen to what I'm trying to say. They didn't start saying Donald Trump was prejudiced or racist. They didn't start saying that he was racist until when? Till he announced that he was gonna become the president. That's when they start saying Donald Trump was racist. Back in the 90s, when all Mike Tyson fights, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, all these great boxers, all these great black men, guess what? They were the best of friends with Donald Trump in the 80s and the 90s. They were best of friends with Donald Trump in the 80s and the 90s. Look on the internet, y'all younger ones, I already know, because you know I'm kind of older, I already knew. Donald Trump they were all buddies with Donald Trump. They were all breaking bread together. Trump Towers was the original spot for boxing. You know how they got the MGM Grand right now? Or T-Mobile, if you're a UFC fan, they got T-Mobile is where all the UFC fights used to be. Well, in the 90s and in the 80s, all the big time fights used to be at Trump Tower. Yes. So Trump was heavily in the community. Was some of Donald Trump's best friends, bro, are African Americans. Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Only reason why the rappers went against Donald, I'm gonna say this, they didn't go against Donald Trump. They took the money, right? They took the money, right? So the people that was promoting, trying to tell us who to vote for, the people who gave them the money, they understood, okay, we gotta say he racist. Y'all gotta tell him that he racist. Y'all know they'll listen to you. They know they'll listen to you. See, politics get real ugly. You know what I'm saying? So when a rapper start trying to tell you who to vote for, that means that they have crossed into politics. That's why I always say, you can't listen to no rapper, bro. A rapper will do anything for $1. A rapper would do anything for money. I must say it. They'll do anything for some money. Majority of them rappers, bro, majority of them record labels, some of your favorite rappers, scam they artists, bro. Scam they artists. And that is what, when rap first started, a lot of people were getting scammed by the record labels, bro. It's not as much these days because of streaming and the internet. The rappers mostly could control their own destiny. You know what I'm saying? But back in the 80s, back in the 90s, back in the 2000s, rappers were getting scammed left and right by the rappers. Left and right. You send a rapper some money to do a feature, he don't send you your stuff. He don't send you your product. They been doing that. That ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing new. So we gotta understand. Don't listen at what they saying on this internet, bro. Have a little bit of common sense. Think outside of the box. Don't go by what you hear in the beginning. Don't go by that. The guy's guilty on three charges. 2 are still major. And you might say, well, man, he got found not guilty on the major charge, bro. 2 to 10 fed cases, a 20-year sentence, a 10-year sentence, a 5-year sentence day for day. That's time, guys. And there's more time when you're 55 years old. Diddy is 55, 56 years old, and ain't never did no time in his life, guys. So if they come back and give him 5 years, right, that's gonna destroy his whole life. Why? Because he's not young. He's not 25. He's not 30. He's not 35. He's 56, 57 years old. By the time he get to federal penitentiary, he's gonna be almost 60. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about that. And then on the flip side, if he want to get out today and they give him probation, they're gonna give him 20 years probation, 10 years probation. If I was Diddy, this is what I would do, guys. If I was Diddy, I would try to get the less time I can get day for day. Give me 5 and let me ride. And when I do my 5 years, when I get out of federal prison, I just have my 2 years probation. Because when you do, that's another thing about the feds. You do that time day for day, right? And still when you get out, you still be on probation. It might be 2 years, it might be 3, depending on what the case. But no matter how it go, if it was me, that's what I would do. I would try to get 5. I would do my 5, and I would take my 2 years probation. Do my 5, get out and do my 2 years probation. I would rather do that than a 10-year probation. Get out today, and I do 10 years probation. Get out today, like they did Young Thug. They railroaded Young Thug, guys. I ain't gonna even lie. They railroaded him. They gave him probation, let him out today, and guess what? I think he got 25, 30 years of probation. What are the chances of him violating that probation? And guess what's gonna happen? If Young Thug violates that probation, he wants to come back and do the 30 anyway, or the 25, or how many years he got on probation. He wants to come back and do that. That's how it works. That's how it works. But see, if Diddy get out today and they give him 10 years probation, it's gonna be super, super strict, and he got to do it for 10 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. And guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna be just like he in jail. He ain't gonna be able to go state to state. They gonna do him worse than what they did Young Thug. Young Thug can't really do nothing. They gonna be looking at your Instagram posts. They gonna be looking at what you do on the internet. And if you do anything out of ordinary on the internet, the probation officer gonna be talking about putting you back in jail, like they did Young Thug a couple of months ago. Gotta watch what you say. He can't go back to Atlanta. He can't go visit nobody. He probably gotta take a piss test every single week. He probably can't, I guarantee you, he can't go state to state to go perform. That probation is hard, bro. That probation is difficult. Straight up. And then you violate the probation and go back and get the time anyways. So people gotta understand, Diddy is not out the water, guys. He's not. He's not. That's why I think, man, some of this stuff, They acting like he really beat all charges. Like they found him not guilty on everything, and they gonna let him out, and he ain't got no worry about no probation. He ain't got to worry about nothing. That's beating the feds, bro. Beating the feds is this. Not guilty on all charges. I walk out right now. That's what beating the feds is. And even the state. I walk out on all charges, not guilty on all counts. I go home today and pick up my life. That's beating the feds, bro. You got dudes on the internet acting like Diddy beat the feds. You got dudes on the internet acting like he beat the feds. He ain't beat no feds, bro. Now what if they come back tomorrow or this afternoon and give him 20? What if they do that? I hope y'all understand they can't do that. A judge can come back whenever lunch is over, doing the sentencing, and give him the 20 and stack the 10. The 10, give him 10. Well, I'm gonna give you 10 years, not running concurrent, stacked. That's what it's called, stacked. Well, I'm gonna stack each 10. I'm gonna give you the max, and I'm stacking them. That's 20. That's 20. That's 20. See, that's what we gotta realize, guys. So the people, y'all got to understand. He did not beat all charges. He don't. Don't listen to these dudes on the internet, bro. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to him. Understand that he got found guilty for tricking with females, flying them in. He got caught doing that. So there's a lot of guys that like to do that. Y'all got to stop doing that, guys. That's the main thing that I'm trying to say. You can't just be flying out these girls, bro. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't, because if they get mad at you, they gonna diddy you. So that's what we gotta understand. You gotta quit flying. Flying girls out is a federal charge, bro. It's a fed case. It's fed case. You think you having fun with the girl. You know what I'm saying? You think you having fun. You meet your girl on Instagram. You meet your girl on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? She specifically got a BBL. You know? All they are, I'm gonna go on and say it. All they are is internet strippers. That's it. That's all it is. They just not hanging in the club no more. They not streetwalkers no more. Right? They are not streetwalkers. You know what I'm saying? They are actually online prostitutes, guys. That's what they are. And guess what? And if you try to, you know, if one of them find it now that you flying out somebody else and giving them more than what you giving them, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna turn on you. That's what happened with Diddy, 9 times out of 10. He wasn't taking care of them the right way. He was doing them all type of ways. And guess what happened? They turned on him. That's what happened. So we gotta stop being so thirsty behind these women, bro. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Especially if you my age. You know, Diddy older than me, and being thirsty behind women. Come on, man. We gotta be better than that, guys. We gotta be better than that. And don't let them make you think that it ain't nothing wrong with that. See, that's what they trying to do. They trying to push that up under the rug and act like, oh, he's not guilty. He coming home. He's not guilty. He's coming home. Bro, that's not true. See, I always say, they always put something on the front end while something else is going on the back end. Because they understand. They understand 2 things. They understand that on the internet, majority of the people will hear the first thing that they hear, they believe. Why is that, Stock Sniper? Because nobody does no real research. Nobody has no real experience, because they trying to train our mind to be short term. Just believe the first thing you hear, not even talking to somebody who done been there and done that. Not talking to somebody who done been there and done that. That's what they want. They want you to believe somebody that got 1 million followers. They want you to believe somebody. They got 1 million subscribers. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe your favorite rapper because he shout you out in a video. They want you to believe your favorite YouTuber because he said, I'm gonna do a Cash App giveaway, and he Cash Apps you $20 or $100, right? They want you to believe what your favorite rapper say because he answers your DM. They want you to believe that. They want you to believe that your favorite rapper won't scam you because he DMs you on the internet. They want you to believe that. They want you, just like they want you to believe that P. Diddy is not guilty. They want you to believe that P. Diddy is coming home. He beat the feds. They want you to believe that, guys. They want you to believe that. Just like they wanted us to believe that Young Thug got off scot-free. They want you to believe that. That's what they want us to believe. But the truth is, P. Diddy still facing 20 years in the Fed. And I'm going to say it again. At 56, 57 years old, a 20-year Fed sentence is a life sentence. He's not 20. He's not 25. He's 56, 57 years old. A 20-year sentence is a life sentence. Probably even a 10. Because he'll be, if they give him 10, they give him 10, 5 and 5. Guess what? That's 10 years. Day for day. When he get out, he'll be almost 70 years old. So we got to think about that. The main thing, stop believing everything you hear on this internet. Because first, these people on the internet, they already think that we don't know nothing, guys. Just look, you go to some people's comment section. You make a comment in some people's lives, and they treat you, they talk to you bad. They block you for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Because they think bad about most of these YouTube creators, bro, especially the ones that got 100,000 subscribers. They look at the people that's commenting like they don't know nothing. That's what they do. Do you agree? Shows money can buy anything in the U.S. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't believe that. I don't believe that money can buy anything. I don't believe that. Money can't buy anything. I don't believe that. Everything ain't for sale, bro. If you trying to ask me that, everything ain't for sale. But I do believe that in today's world, 8 out of 10 people or 7 out of 10 people will probably do anything for some money. I do believe that. Diddy not guilty, verdict. Well, he was found not guilty on a few charges, but he was found guilty he wasn't found not guilty on everything. That's the best way I can say it. He's still facing 20 years. So don't believe that. Don't believe that he's not guilty, because that's not true. He still got found guilty on 2 charges, bro. And he's waiting to get sentenced right now. And each charge carries 2 to 10. So that means that judge can say, I'm gonna give you 10 for this one and 10 for that one, and that's 20. He's still facing 20 years, bro. And that's day for day. But at the same time, the judge could give him probation. So don't say he's not guilty, because that's not true. That's not true. Because if he was not guilty, he would be out of jail right now. They would have released him already if he was not guilty. So that's not true. Not guilty means not guilty on all charges. That's what I want. If I get charged, I want to beat everything. I want to beat all cases. I want to beat all cases. And at 55 years old, We can't agree. If that judge come back and give Diddy 20, that's just like a life sentence, bro. Don't all y'all agree? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. If Diddy is 55, 56 years old, if that judge comes back and say, I'm gonna give you 10 on each count and we gonna stack them, that'll be 20. Would y'all agree? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. A 20-year sentence for somebody that's 55, 56 years old, that's just like life. Let me know what y'all think. Yes or no? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't agree. Come on, let me know, guys. Rob Balls, what's happening, Rob Balls? What's up, Rob Balls? What's going on? Long time no see, brother. How about them Cowboys? Rob Balls, guys, is my boy right there, man. This channel has kept up with the trial. Well, you say I haven't kept up with the trial, but I do know this. If you got 5 charges, right? I do know this. 75, I'm gonna call you that. I do know this. If I got 5 charges, right? And the judge come back with not guilty, or I think 2, but I'm still guilty 3. And each charge that they found me guilty on carries 2 to 10. Guess what? I know I still got to do time. And if I'm sitting in the holding cell right now, like what Diddy is doing, because after you get found guilty, they put you back in the holding tank and they wait to see if you're gonna go to sentencing or if they're gonna recess for the day and start it back in the morning. I do know this, that judge could give me 10 on one case and 10 on the other, and he can stack them. He can do that, and that'll be 20. Or he can do this. He can give me 10 and run them concurrent, meaning that it'll be charged as 1, and I'll do 10. Or he can say, oh, I like you a lot, Mr. Stock Sniper. I'm gonna give you probation and give you the rest of the time on probation. I'm gonna let you go home today, and I'm gonna give you 20 years probation. I'm gonna let you go home today. I'm gonna give you 10 years probation. I do know that. I do know that. That I do know. In other words, I know the court system. So I don't have to be looking at the trial every single day to understand how the court system works, bro. I don't have to be in the courtroom. I know you guilty. You got 5 cases. You guilty. On 2 of them, I'm not guilty. On 3 of them, I'm guilty. On 2 of the 3 that I'm guilty, each one carries 2 to 10. I know this already. So, and I know that, okay, my future is in the judge's hands. The judge can come back and say, Stock Sniper, I'm gonna give you 10 on this one, and I'm gonna give you 10 on that one, and I'm stacking them. I'm not running them concurrent. That's a 20-year sentence. I don't have to be in the courtroom to know that, bro. I don't have to be inside Diddy courtroom to know that. If that makes sense. Do I think he'll go to prison for a long time? I think, well, I'm gonna say this. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if he got probation, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he got probation and they let him out today or tomorrow. But the probation gonna be so strict, right? They might give him 10 years probation. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Let him go home today, give him 10 years probation, and make it so strict. And you know what they tell you when you're walking out the door? This is what they tell you. Oh, you'll be back. That's what they tell you. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Do I think that's gonna happen? No, I don't. This is what I think gonna happen. I think he's going to get 5 years, and they're gonna run them together. He gonna get 5 for each. This is what I think. I think Diddy's gonna get 5 and 5, but they're not gonna stack them. They're gonna run them together. They're gonna give him time served, and he gonna do 4. They're gonna give him back time because he been in jail for a year. So I think that he gonna do I think Diddy gonna get 4 years. That's what I think. I think he's gonna do 4 years. That's my opinion. That's what I think. But I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him probation and let him out. So that's my thing. And if he get probation, I think they're gonna do him just like they did Young Thug. They're gonna get him out on probation and give him 20 years probation. Basically, you get out today, but you got a life sentence on probation. That's what I think gonna happen on that. I think they're gonna give him. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him probation, but give him give him 20 years on probation. If he get probation, it's gonna be for a long time. That I do know. And it's gonna be strict. I think well, he only did 1 year. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. I'm about to turn around. We'll see what's gonna happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him probation and let him out. But my personal thoughts, I think he's gonna get 5 years. They're gonna give him back time for 1, and they're going to do 4. That's what I think. Let's see if I'm right, guys. Let's see if I'm right. Or they might give him 2, which is the minimum. They can't do this. They can give him 2 and run him to concurrent. That'd be 2 years. And he already did 1. He had to do 1 more year and get out. So, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give 2 predictions. My first prediction is that he's gonna get the 5 years. And then they're gonna give him back pay for the 1, and he's gonna do 4. That's my first prediction. My second prediction is that they're gonna give him the 2 years. Run them together. He already got 1 year time served, and he's gonna do another year, and then he get out. That's number 2. Number 3, I think that they're gonna give him probation, let him go out, let him get out, and give him 10 years on probation. So that's A, B, and C. That's what I think. That's what I think. But my first one is 5 years, which he'll have to do. He'll have to do 4 more. Then he'll get out. My second pick is 2 years, and he'll have to do 1 more year. My third pick is probation. Go home today, but he got 10 years probation. That's what I think. That goes to show you that Diddy runs the police department and the FBI. I'm glad you brought that up. But this is what I really think. Thanks for reminding me. I really think this. I forgot about this, guys. I think Donald Trump gonna pardon Diddy. That's what I really think. I think Donald Trump will pardon Diddy. That's what I think. That's what I really think. I think Donald Trump is gonna pardon Diddy, bro. Either or. Diddy, that's what I think. I think Donald Trump gonna pardon him and let him out. That's what I really think. I think Donald Trump gonna let him out of jail, guys. I forgot about that part. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all for joining me. I ran 6 miles and I walked another 3. This is the walk down. I do this Monday through Friday. I run 6 miles and then I go live and I talk and I communicate with the people. That's what I do. I appreciate y'all for joining me. But remember, guys, Diddy's still guilty on 2 cases. He's still facing 20. If the judge want to give him the 20, he's still facing that. So just look at it like that. Don't really pay attention until the sentencing come back. Then pay attention. But he's still a convicted felon, guys. He's still convicted of federal prostitution. So those 2 counts. So that's 2 to 10 on each count. So we gotta look at it like that. So don't listen if they say Diddy getting out. Diddy beat the case. He didn't beat all the cases, guys. He's still facing 20. It depends on what the judge gonna do. It's up to the judge right now. What if he got an asshole judge? Which happens. He got an asshole judge and the judge give him 20. But on the back end, I think Donald Trump gonna pardon him anyway. That's what I think. I think Donald Trump gonna pardon that boy, man. That's what I think. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm at the end of my walk down. This is the 13th episode of the walk down. If you're just not tuning in, I run 6 miles a day. I walk another 3. I got this that I do called a walk down. It helps me with my exercise. It helps me get through this walk, and it's 100 degrees out here. So I appreciate y'all for joining me. Y'all helping me out so much. I want y'all to know that everybody that's in here, y'all been helping me out so much. I appreciate y'all. I've been an hour, and because of y'all, this hour went by so fast. And I appreciate y'all for that. Make sure if you had a good time, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and once you do that, you'll be able to see a lot of things that I do on this channel. Which is a lot of positive things, sports, hip hop news like we talking about right now, just basically about me. You'll find out who I am as a person. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. We're getting ready for football season, guys. Rob Balls, that's my boy. How about them boys? Rob Balls comes and kicks it with me on football season, and we have a good time. So football season will be here in a month, guys. And y'all know I go live for the football games. So I appreciate y'all for joining me. Y'all stay blessed, stay prayed up, right? Hope y'all have a great day. To the next one, I'm out.